You know, people often ask me why I go to Japan and now why I'm going back. But perhaps it's actually the wrong question. Maybe a better question is, why not? Because to me the reason is actually quite simple. You know, there was an interesting thing said about Jesus in the Bible. It says this, that the people living in darkness have seen a great light. And on those living in the land of the shadow of death, a light has dawned. What was that light? Well, that light was Jesus. Jesus was called the light of the world, the hope of the nations. Because he came to bring light and hope and truth and life and the love of God into a dark world, and a broken world and a sinful world. The incredible thing is, not long after that was said about Jesus, Jesus actually said to his followers, his friends, he said, "You are the light of the world. So don't hide your light, but let it shine so that all people can see." And you know, that's really what Japan's all about for me, because Japan is a spiritually dark place, and they desperately need God's light and the hope of Jesus in that dark nation. And so that's why I go. That somehow by God's grace I can bring his incredible light into a dark place. Because you know, Jesus calls us not to run away from the darkness in fear, but to run into the darkness and shine his awesome light. And that's what he calls each one of us to do in a dark and hopeless world, to take his light. Because you don't need light where there already is light. You need a candle only where there's a dark place, where there is no light. So that's what I plan to do. That somehow God would use me to shine his light into dark places. How about you? You know, it's a dark world we live in, and Jesus calls each one of us to shine his light. So why don't you dare to take your candle and go and light your world?